Hands up. In. Up. Down. Take a deep breath. Alright, boys and girls, so this afternoon we'll continue our lesson, right? Narrative writing. And yesterday we looked at our storyboard and we looked at how to go about creating our story, right? You can have a seat. And we already know what are the elements of the story, right? Like the characters, settings, etc. And we already know how to make our characters come to life, right? How do we make our characters lively in our story? Class? Alright, so we give our characters qualities, right? Now, what are the two main characters in a story? What are the two main characters? What's the key word? Very good grammar. Protagonist and antagonist, right? For the star, right? The scammer, right? Alright, so now this afternoon we will be looking at figurative language, right? Figurative language. These are some words that we use in writing story, right? Now, in order to make our story more interesting, we have to use figurative language. Now we have some on the board. Now, figurative language is used to make the story more spicy, right? Now, these are some of the figurative examples. We have representation series that we use in writing our story. Now, alright, so these are the figurative language. Let's go through them. The first one. The first one we have personification, right? Our first figurative language is personification. Now let's read what is a personification.
Give qualities to animal, object, or other things.
Okay, now personification is a word or a sentence that give qualities to objects, animals, or ideas, right? It's like you say like something is living, right? It's not. For example, let's read the example.
The sun smiled happily down at us.
Okay, so one example of a personification is that we give the sun some qualities, right? Anybody else the sun smell? No, right? We give the sun qualities of personification. The sun smile happily down at us. We give the sun a human quality, right? Alright, so let's move on to the next one. We have similes. Similes. What is similes?
When two things are comparing like for us.
There's something when you compare two things using the word like for us, right? Now, give an example.
He run like a frightened rabbit.
You run like a frightened rabbit, right? Now, in this simile, we compare the boy to a what? What do we compare him with in this example? Okay, we compare him to a rabbit, right? We say he run like a frightened rabbit. We have the very hefty one. Now, this is a simile, right? When we compare something using right for us. We have the next one. Onomatopoeia.
Onomatopoeia.
let's read onomatopoeia.
When a word sounds like a thing is described.
Alright, so when a word sounds like a thing is described. So we have, for example,
Boom.
what sounds boom? Drum? Music? One? Alright, it's something like you say some boom, right? And we also have some examples here. For example, we have this one here. Splash, right? What's some splash? What? Some splash, right? So when you're describing something with a word that sounds like what you're describing, for example, splash. Where you say the water splash, right? Now that's an onomatopoeia. Next one, you have hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
Alright, so let's read hyperbole. Language.
Language so
Exaggerate.
exaggerate what you mean. It often used to make things seem bigger and better than it really is. Example, I am so hungry, I can eat a meal.
Alright, so hyperbole is when you exaggerate what you mean, right? It can happen in real life, right? Everybody know how big a whale is?
Yes, sir.
How big? Do you think you can eat a whale?
No, sir.
Alright, so you exaggerate, right? You make it seem more bigger and more better than it really is. Because nobody can eat a whole whale. We have metaphors. Next one is metaphors.
Comparing two objects, things with or use of light or light. Example, the water is out here.
So metaphors, so we compare the objects are things without the use of light or us. Alright, so in metaphors, we only compare using these words, right, like or us. As in simile, when we compare, we use like or us, right? But we don't use like or us when comparing using metaphors. For example, we have the water as a crystal here. Now the water is compared to a crystal, right? Anybody have the crystal? Anybody have the crystal before? Now crystal is a clear glass, right? And we have compared the water to the crystal. So here we have our figurative language, and we have the definition and the examples. Now when writing your story, we must put in these words, these figurative language in your story also. Now let's go through them one more time.
For multiplication. Onomatopoeia. Hyperbole. Metaphors.
Metaphors, right? Now these are the language that you will be using in your story to make it more nice, right? Now imagine your story is a meat, right? Imagine your story is a big piece of meat. Everybody eat meat? Alright, now imagine your story is a meat. Now if you put a big piece of meat in a pot of boiling water without no salt, not onion, not seasoning, nothing, how do you think I take all this meat? How do you taste? Do you think you enjoy it? Because it's still back around one, right? Now your story is like a meat, right? A big nice piece of meat. Now, in order to make this story more, this meat tastes nice or the story sound good, we need to add the ingredients, right?
Yes.
Now, these here are the ingredients for your story to make your story sound good, right? Figurative language. Alright, so please take out your handout. Yeah, the name. Instructions. I will call a random person to stand and give one example of what you're doing. I will start off with Kevin. Please stand, Kevin. Now, please give us an example of a personification that you wrote in your paper.
Boy was running.
Boy was running speed. Now, is that an example of personification? Very good. Alright, that's it. Sasha, you stand. Sasha, please give us your example of our simile. Priya, please read us your example for simile.
The boy was running very speed.
Very speed. Alright, that's it. Ananja, stand. Give us one example that you use for metaphor. Kiara, give us one example that you get for hyperbole. Brandon, give us one example for onomatopoeia. Alright. Felicia, stand. Give us one example that we use for simile. He was running slow like a turtle. Alright, very good, very good. Priyan Simachus, please stand. Give us one example that you get for simplification. Alright, so everybody try, right? Now, next class, we'll have to do better, right? We'll go through it one more time in next class, and we will all get it correct. Everybody understand? Alright.